Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker, Poonam Bhatia, joining us from New Jersey. Poonam is a former IBI HR leader and a passionate advocate for empowering communities globally. Her deep insights and holistic approach have inspired countless individuals to embrace change and realize their full potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's open our minds and hearts as we embark on the enlightening journey together. Over to Poonam ji.
Thank you, Captain Mehta, for inviting me to your session. And I also want to thank Prakash Bhatia ji for introducing me to Mind Retreat. And thank you. Let's begin our topic. It's the power to change our life. And I would add that power to change our life on purpose, by design, by choice, by sincere effort, or by chance. The only constant in life is the change, whether we like it or not. But if we go along with it, that would be the design. But if we want to change it, transform it, we have pillars and tools to empower us to find power and how to use that power to transform our life. We can harness that power through our thought. Everything is in our conscious and subconscious mind, and use the resources available to us. A Vietnamese Buddhist monk, his name is Thich Nhat Hanh, he said, life is the greatest miracle. And if you are alive, everything is possible. I think that's beautifully said. If we are alive, everything is possible. And the biggest miracle is that we are alive. It's not walking on the water or doing something extraordinary. Just to be alive is a miracle by itself. There are several pillars of empowerment, and let's explore them together. Number one is belief. Belief is what is the foundation of all effort, transformation, and our life. Now, belief is a little bit complicated to understand. Belief can really start with an idea, with a thought. It could be your thought or the consciousness, the common consciousness around you. Many a times what happens is a thought may come to ourselves, but there are thoughts around us. They are like bubbles, they're like vibrations. And at a certain time, we can latch on to one of the thought and then explore it, and we make it our own, and we identify with that. And then it over time becomes your belief. But what you learn, what you hear, what you see, what you observe, what you experience, it is very closely connected to the next pillar, which is knowledge. So how do we gain knowledge? Again, by learning, by experiencing, by teaching, teachers, by observing, by our experiences, by mentors, our parents, family, society, community, everything at large can contribute to that knowledge. But the beautiful thing about knowledge is it is a bunch of information, but our intellect sorts that, synthesizes that, organizes that to make it useful. That is the essence of knowledge. And there is a Christian prayer that was penned in 1930, 1940. It's a long prayer, but I'll paraphrase two items out of that. And it says, God, help me to understand what I can do and what I cannot do, and wisdom to know the difference. That is the essence of the prayer. So we need to understand with our knowledge, intellect, and belief system what we can change and what we cannot change. The great example of what we cannot change is the universal law of cause and effect. We call it karma, or it's a universal law of cause and effect. Life and death, the time on this planet, some of these things are predetermined, predestined, and those we cannot change, but everything else we can change if we need to change. Number 3, a pillar is mindfulness. We can really spend all day long till cows come home on mindfulness. But the essence of mindfulness is the power of now. Now, real time, this moment is the mindfulness, is the focus, is the awareness, understanding of where you are in this cycle in the power of now. That is really, really critical. You see, we don't live in the now, we don't live in the present. The research tells us we live in the past. 70%, 80% of thoughts, our actions, our mind is in the past. About 20% is in the future. The worry, the anxiety, what am I going to do, where I'm going to live, how I'm going to eat, will my health be good, all kind of anxiety. And measly 5 to 10% with great effort is the mindfulness in the present. You see, the past is history, future is mystery, present is the gift that we can really use it to benefit ourselves and live ourselves in this journey. And the 4th pillar is the positive thoughts. Again, positive thoughts of hope, of effort, of doing the right thing, that's positive thoughts. There is a founder of positive psychology, Dr. Martin Seligman. He's the director of positive psychology in University of Pennsylvania. He's written a book. The title is called Learned Happiness. In there, he says, happiness can be learned. Happiness, optimism can be learned. Just the way helplessness, hopelessness is also learned. He said, we're not born with it. Now, let me just tell you an interesting fact that in our Hindu philosophy, Eastern philosophy, we believe everything is karma. It's the previous life. And we can talk about karma the whole day as well. The sanchit karma, which is accumulated karma, agad karma, jugad karma, and blah, 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 all kinds of karma. Western psychology and scientists did not believe in that. Most of them do not believe in incarnation or life after death, but they have begun to understand and agree and accept that there is a predisposition at birth to our personality, to our attitudes. It is present there at birth. But all these psychologists are saying that's not the end of life. It can be changed. It can be transformed. It can supersede by nourishment, by environment, by upbringing, by nurturing of a human life or even an animal life that can change. So he says that you can learn to be optimistic. It is in your hands. If you put in the effort from pessimistic, from negativity, you can transform that into positivity. And there is another biologist, internationally known. His name is Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he's written an excellent book. It's called Biology of Belief. And in there, he talks about epigenetic. Epigenetic is the science above genetics. And what is genetics? DNA, chromosome, genes, so on and so forth. And epigenetic, he talks about, is again nurturing the environment. And they have conducted experiments of twins separated, one in a different atmosphere, upbringing, development, love, nurturing, and the one like a placebo effect, what happens to a person which is left not with that same nurturing. So it is important for us to know that we're not born like this. We can become optimistic And that is a great pillar resource for us to empower us. And number 5 is the synchronization. It's very, very important for our regular life, our journey, our happiness, our peace of mind. Synchronization really means what you think, what you do, and what you say is all synchronized. It's like saying walk the walk and talk the talk. If there is a disconnect, you have lost your power. You can even lose your mind on that. So synchronization of your thought, what you say, what you do, what you think has to be synchronized. Once that is synchronized, your life becomes an absolutely transformative. You can work with that, you can change, you can help yourself and help everybody else. But synchronization also includes, if you expand that, is authenticity, simplicity, gratitude, humility, and forgiveness. Because all these are absolutely essential for our peace of mind, empowerment, and changing our life to whatever we want to do. It also includes ego in the synchronization, who you are and your ego. So moving along to the next area of empowerment, let me introduce you to the transaction analysis. Is called TA, and PAC stands for parent, adult, and child ego. And most of our actions stem from the ego status or ego stage or ego phase in our life. So there is a book actually called with the same topic. It says, I'm okay, you are okay. It was written by Dr. Thomas Harris around 1960s, 70s, and it was a bestseller for many, many months on New York Times and the publications. So let's go through quickly through these 4 stages of I'm okay, you are okay. So Dr. Harris, through his experiment, says that when a child is born, his ego, his so helplessness, he's dependent on his caretaker or parents, his ego in the state of saying, I'm not okay and you are okay. Again, I'm not okay, you are okay. But when he grows a little bit and becomes independent and he's walking, he's talking, he's able to express his emotions, he's able to express his needs to his parents and caregiver, his ego state becomes, I'm okay and you are not okay. As if I know everything, boom, I can do whatever, I'm okay, you are not okay. And the adolescent is a very, very critical ego stage where people totally get stuck. And that is, they're trying to find their identity, their careers, who they are, what do they want to do, and go through sorting out their life issues. And oh, by the way, a parent or a father or whosoever caregiver figure is like a 500-pound gorilla sitting on the top of the adolescent, telling him how to do, what to do, where to go, what to eat, what to wear, what to think. The child identity is lost. And that is a very critical time. Children become aggressive, they get alienated, many become suicidal, many wants to run out of the house, many gets into addictions, all kinds of crutches because they have lost the ego, which says, I'm not okay, you are not okay. So that is the tug of war that we parents or grandparents, we need to be aware of it and cognizant of this stage. How do we let them make decisions? It is very difficult time. Should I go right or should I go left? Is the confusion. There's no clarity. To help them through this, And then the final stage, which is the optimum stage, is when that adolescent becomes adult and his level of emotional intelligence is high, his maturity level is high, his life experiences are there to fall upon, and he comes to the stage which says, I'm okay and you are okay. That is the acceptance. That is saying life is not perfect. I respect you, but you must respect me. We are on the level playing field now. You are okay and I'm okay. And that's the stage where we learn, or we should know by that time, is that what we can change and what we cannot change. That's the optimum stage of ego. So many of us had difficulty or still have difficulty because our ego state is stuck somewhere, or it's not clarified completely or adequately for us to use that stage to make our life better or transform our life better. Let me now shift to, after transactional analysis, to a very simple way of improving our life and understanding what we need to do. There's a Spanish neurologist. He's written a most beautiful, simple book. It's 129 pages, fifth grade level. And he says, the book title is by Don Ruiz. Dr. Don Ruiz is 4 Agreements. 4 agreements. He said, if we make that in life, our life will be simple. We'll be empowered. Very, very simple things. Make these 4 commitments and you can go forward in your life. And he talks about, number 1 is impeccable words. Impeccable words. The best words, the pleasant words, the kind, compassionate words you can use, that gives you the power. And let me tell you, in psychology, we say when you communicate with people, when you're delivering a message, when you're interacting with people, the words account for 7%. Tone of voice, intention, and your body language accounts for 93%. But we've got all wrong. We've got all reversed. We get so triggered. We are ready to pounce. We are on the emotional edge to let somebody say something to us and the bomb goes off. The 7% becomes 93% or 100%, and we respond to that. And many a times we respond inappropriately. The words should only count for 7%. And 93% is intention, tone of voice, and body language of what you want. So be very careful. Don't get ruffled by just the words. The second commitment, he says, is don't take it personally. Whatever the words are thrown to us, whatever the situation may be, you should not take it personally. It's not always meant for you. And the third thing he says, the danger of making assumptions. What we do is, again, the words trigger, we pounce on it, we take it personally, and then we make assumptions rather than going through the truth, finding facts, analyzing it, taking a step back, and reacting appropriately, responding rather than reacting, I should say, to what is being done or said to us in any situation. So be very cognizant of the danger of making assumptions. And then the fourth commitment or agreement, he says, is the hard work. 100% focus, 100% hard work. The excellence part of it, give your best, 100%. And like we know, there are no quick schemes of rich or doing anything extraordinary. It is sheer hard work and win-win. There is an intrinsic reward for doing the hard work with good intentions. And later on, he and his son added a fifth agreement also, and that is very important. And he said, some degree of skepticism, but you must be open-minded, you must listen. And then he says, but there is an inner guide, the intuition, your gut, that will tell you and make your final decision after listening to everything and making all these commitments. But the commitment has to be very consistent, very disciplined, very regular, and really it's not something you can do once in a while, or it's like a luxury, but you have to be focused on it, consistent. The power of words, remember that. Don't take it personally. Don't make assumptions. 100% best effort, and open-minding and listening to one's inner voice, intuition, guide, values, your belief system. There is another tool or resources I want to mention that to you people, and that is an Austrian doctor, neurologist. His name is Viktor Frankl. He was one of the doctors during Holocaust in Nazi Germany. He lost his whole family. And what he was assigned to do is to check people and test them before they were being put to death or sent into the Holocaust area to be eliminated. And what this doctor understood is that Hitler wanted a pure race. He didn't want to kill everyone, but the ones he felt threatened from. And this doctor, Viktor Frankl, he gave wrong testing results for a lot of people and declared them insane. So the Hitler army saved those people, didn't kill them, and they thought they are not a threat because they're insane. But later on, Dr. Frankl came to the United States, and he started his practice for intervention for extreme anxiety, depression, mental disease, and disorders. And he came up, it's called logotherapy. And the essence of logotherapy is MIL and PIL. And MIL stands for meaning in life, and PIL stands for purpose in life. Excellent way for him to put. And he wrote a book with that title. It says Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. That is the MIL and the purpose of that meaning. What is the purpose behind that meaning? And this excellent, he talks about, I wanted to share with you, is 3 ways how we find the meaning in life. And one is through sheer hard work, creative in nature, aligned with a purpose greater than yourself. That is the essence of finding a meaning in life and a purpose in life. And second thing, he says, the way is you manifest the purpose and the meaning through service to others beyond yourself. When you help someone, when you take them through their issues or problems in life, when they have a passion, they have a purpose beyond themselves, and that really helps a person, a man, to search the meaning in his life. Absolutely, to find through love, through the service you do to others. You know, in business world, I used to do a lot of management development, and many a times I refer to as abbreviation. is called WIIIFM. And it stands for what is in it for me. And that is the killer. That intention, when that comes, when the vifam comes in our mind, it destroys the openness. It destroys our effort and initiative, because now we are talking about selfishness. We are talking about what is in it for me? Why should I do it? So many times I used to explain to people, be open-minded. If we give you more projects, it's like a stretch assignment. Don't be focused. If you want to develop your career, get rid of vifam, because that is going to stop you from learning, for enhancing your skills, participating, become a team player, cooperate, contribute fairly to every project, rather than just tag along and wag your tail and ask questions and, cause more problems and issues. When vifam comes, we are not even asking relevant questions. Every question is directed towards what is in it for me? Why should I do it? What are you going to do for me? And I told them, in life, it's not all bartering. It's not trading. If you want to trade, do trade on Wall Street and stock market. There's where you trade. But over here, be open-minded and through service for others. And third, he says, the way you find your meaning and purpose is through courage, through pain, adversity, which is fundamental to human nature. Like one psychologist said, her name is Kathy Case, and she beautifully said that pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. So pain is going to happen. There's duality, there's dark and light, there's sickness and health, there is good and bad, there is gain and loss. Everything is going to happen. There's going to be pain, but suffering is optional. See what happens in our conscious mind. There is pain, and we think about it, we overthink about it, we repeat that pain, and we talk about it. Pain, pain, pain. This is there. This is pain. I don't like it. There is an intensification of the feeling and sensation of pain. But the pain, and then that is gone into subconscious mind. So subconscious mind is the memory bank. It doesn't have the logic. It's going to take whatever you give it to it. When that is downloaded, the pain is long gone, but you're suffering because of that pain. Thinking about that pain, which is not even intensive right now, which is not really making your life miserable, but you're still in pain. You are in suffering because you're thinking, your subconscious mind thinks you are in pain, and therefore you are in pain. So Frankl said that creative values, hard work, experiential values, love of others, service to others, attitudinal values, positive thinking, optimism is the way to find a meaning in life and purpose in life. Okay. So going along, in the interest of time, we'll just spend a little bit time on role of consciousness and subconsciousness. Again, like I said, we live in the past. The mindfulness, the conscious part is very small. So we need to make an effort really to focus on mindfulness and the present and our conscious mind, which we only use less than 10% of the time. Everything goes into the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind becomes the boss. All our repetitive patterns, our habits are all formed in the conscious mind, but the repetition of that goes into subconscious mind, and then that becomes a habit. We don't even think about it. It becomes an autopilot. All our involuntary functions in the body are governed by the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. You don't tell consciously to breathe, to digest food, for the blood circulation. All those functions are in subconscious mind. So what you feed in your conscious mind through mindfulness, remember, is going to go into subconscious mind. So you have to be very careful what thoughts you are thinking, what patterns you are creating, what habits you are creating, what kind of routines you are creating, your attitude towards life, towards other, whatever you are doing in the conscious mind is going to go into the subconscious mind. So you're creating your subconscious mind through your thoughts, through your patterns. A conscious mind is logical mind. The purpose of conscious mind, fact-finding, analysis, decision-making, logic, common sense, creative thinking, all kinds of things are done by the conscious mind. So conscious mind is really overloaded. You have to be so careful what to put through the conscious mind. Anything extra, petty, small things. In Hindi language, we say chodo, jane do. In English, we say let it go. So do let it go of a lot of things. Don't attach too much priority and importance to smaller stuff, and focus your conscious mind, the energy, the power of conscious mind towards what is creative, what is beneficial, which forms your habits, and so on and so forth. Again, the meaning of life also helps through your conscious mind. What you want, what you think, what are your needs, what are your desires, all those decisions are made by the conscious mind. So when they go into subconscious mind, it becomes very, very difficult, but it's challenging. It can be reprogrammed, your subconscious mind, through therapy, intervention, maybe medication, solitude, all kinds of interventions, holistic interventions can be done to really reprogram your subconscious mind. So it is much easier and better and less challenging to focus on your conscious mind, what you're doing currently, mindfulness, so that you don't bring everything into subconscious mind. Otherwise, the subconscious mind is going to rule and you don't even get chance to think again. You are on autopilot, and that's what subconscious mind is going to let you do. And a great example of subconscious mind is learning to ride a bike. Once you have that balance, once you know how to ride a bike, that skill that goes into your subconscious mind. Every time you see a bike, you don't start thinking, oh, I'm going to sit like this, or I'm going to balance like this, and I'm going to hold the handle like this. And if I turn right, this is going to happen to the tires, and the left is going to happen. It's on autopilot. Your home address or your way to your home is automatically in your subconscious mind. Even if you change your house many a times, subconscious mind will take you to the street where you used to live just by autopilot. And then you realize, oh, no, I have to go the other way, not this way. So be careful of what you feed. The role of conscious mind is active, learning, thinking, making decisions, fact-finding, logic, cause and effect. The power of now comes into conscious mind. So that is the essence. It's a very, very big topic of how subconscious minds comes into being, what stays there, the memories, the experiences, the intensity of the experience is lost, but it is still in the conscious mind. You see, the thoughts are so fragmented. Hundreds and thousands of thoughts, nanosecond comes into your mind and clouds the clarity of your thinking because so many thoughts are coming. So we have to control our thoughts, organize them, let go of some of the thoughts and keep the thoughts which we need to then download into subconscious mind. It is not in our control once we do something consciously, when and how. The science is not able to tell us how many times a day in 24 hours, how much is downloaded, what is downloaded into subconscious mind, how much repetition you must do. But the science tells us if you want to change your habit or do something different or reprogram your conscious mind, the magic number is 21 days. In all AA, the alcoholic addictions and all kinds of changes, therapies, they are minimum 21 days. And they said 3 to 4 times a day, you must repeat that. Whatever, like we were talking about affirmations yesterday in the program, in the satsang with Captain Mehta and everybody else. We were talking about affirmation. I just want to mention to you, if you have one affirmation, you cannot have 10 or 7 because it's not repetitive. Your mind is not able to remember that. You need to focus on one. And the one affirmation, whatever it is you choose, you must say that 3 to 4 times a day, sincerely, with complete heart, complete focus. But do it every day for 21 days, and that will go into your subconscious mind. You don't have to think about it. Your life pattern, your decisions, your thinking, your attitude will be transformed from the subconscious mind, whatever the affirmation you've made. Say, if, hypothetically, the affirmation is, I'm abundantly blessed. If you say that 3 to 4 times a day for 21 days, your subconscious mind know that you're blessed. So every time any negative thought comes, subconscious mind will tell you, remind you, you're blessed. Or your affirmation is, I'm happy, I'm blissful, I have everything. Your subconscious mind, whenever the negativity comes, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that, and oh my God, what am I going to do it? Your subconscious mind is going to remind you, no, you have everything. You have everything. You don't need anything more. You've got it. That is the benefit, the art or design of our subconscious mind. It's a memory bank. So put good memories in there. Otherwise, the disk is going to be full. You have to delete something. You have to let go of something so that the new information, the good information, the positive attitude, the optimism comes into your conscious mind. Conscious mind is going to download into subconscious mind. And you got it, sir. You got it. That's how the conscious and subconscious mind relationship work. It's like a very, very big topic. Maybe another time, if we have a chance, we can do it. So moving along, I want to talk to you that you may or may not know. You're very wealthy. You have 5 types of wealth at our disposal. And number 1 wealth is the time. That is the equalizer. No discrimination, no have-nots. You have 24 hours, 7 days a week. We all have the same time. But the essence of that is the awareness, attention, control, managing, and prioritizing it. How you use that time. You can spend 10 hours of the TV time and computer time. That's up to you. You can spread it out and you can do some voluntary work, some creative work, write a book, read a book, talk to someone, help someone. I do a lot of helping people with, all the way after I retired. Financial help. There are a lot of ladies who don't know about investments and they are telling their children don't have time. The dependency is so frustrating because they have not done certain things. A couple of months ago, I was talking to a friend, older couple, and they said, oh, we wanted to do a trust. We wanted to do the will, and we've not done. And I said, I gave them the whole 9 yards of wills. You should do this, you should do that. It's a litigious society. What happens if both of you die? Whatever, there's, we don't know which lawyer, who should we talk, what should we say, how to. So I gave them the whole information, gave them my lawyer. I said, call them right now. And after a week, they were sending me, thank you, and God bless you. And we got this thing done, and we were procrastinating, we were losing time, and so on and so forth. So we won't go into it, but please value your time. It is very, very critical wealth that we all have it. Use it, think you're wealthy, and manage it appropriately so that you have the control of your time. Second wealth is the emotional wealth. It's very, very important. Emotional health, our attitude, how we respond to things, how we respond to triggers, how we respond to others, our transactional, anger, jealousy, all kinds of things, emotions, even love, is very important to control, to be in balance. Emotional health is very, very important. There were some surveys conducted, and they asked people, what are the top 5 fears? And number 1 was not death. Number 1 was not wealth. Number 1 was emotional health. People want to make sure that they are sane, they have their mental health, they're able to control their emotions, they're able to control their thoughts, their life. Number 1 is the emotional health. So don't ignore that. It's very important to focus on your mental health, just like physical health is there. And number 2 fear was in the survey is abandonment, being left alone, being discarded by your family and friends. Very, very important. And number 3 was death. And number 4 was losing everything, your wealth, your assets, and so on and so forth. The third thing is social wealth. We cannot talk enough about social wealth. Connection, togetherness, that's fundamental to human nature. How we connect within our networks, how we use or help each other in this social state. There is a 85-year-old study by Harvard University, and that's called Longevity and Happiness Study. So they have been studying this. What is the number 1 for longevity and happiness? And they came up with relationship. Number 1 for longevity and happiness is relationship. And they say relationship meaningful, trusting relationship, confidant. It could be 1 or 2. It could be your spouse, your child, your colleague, your neighbor, whosoever. And there's a saying, a funny saying, it says, if I know that you, as my confidant or my best relationship, is going to be sitting in seat number 1, row number 1 for my funeral, I can die in peace. You can die in peace if you have such a deep relationship with someone that you can trust. Meaningful relationship is number 1. They're saying relationship as number 1 even supersedes the biometrics, blood pressure and cholesterol and your weight and pulse and heart and lungs and everything else. The relationship is number 1. So do form relationships, connections, social relationship, contact. I give a lecture on loneliness, the impact of solitude and loneliness on our life, and it's become an epidemic. People are not really together. This individualistic thing, I'm full by myself, I don't need anybody, I can just exist in vacuum. Those things are just for the birds. It's just not social connection. They also say, dig your well before you need water. So form your relationship. They're building blocks 1 at a time. It's not built in 1 day. Rome is not built in 1 day. So develop your relationship, your contacts, your friendships, and your meaningful friendships and trusting friendship going forward. And we can't talk enough about physical wealth. Physical wealth is your strength, your weight, your nutrition, your exercise, sleeping habits, drinking enough hydration, water, and so on and so forth. Your muscles, your genes, your DNA, everything is included in that. How do you nourish that? How do you protect that? How do you maintain that is very important. And then the last one is the financial help. Financial help, we know the passive and active investments, Financial health is important for you to know where the gaps are, what is your income, what is your expenditure, where it's going to go, how you're going to provide for yourself or your family or your spouse, whosoever you have responsibility for. It is important to manage that. And it's good. In schools in India, growing up, when we were there, we were not taught about anything but financial, the value of money and how do you invest, how you create money, how do you protect and preserve money, and what is the role and function of money in your life. We were not told that. Some other parents, some older people took care of everything. Did we know where the money is coming from? What does it mean? I don't think I remember even having a value of money. But ever since I've been here 50 years, making investments, I worked for IBM, I worked for Hudson City Savings Bank, all the 401ks and IRAs and whatever the financial products are over here, how to invest, what to do, equities, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, index funds, all kinds of stuff we learned, and we are taking care of it. And I don't know how many of you or how many of you know who understand the financial aspects of what needs to be done and how do we manage. There's a saying, it's not enough to say, I don't know. You must know what you don't know, at least know a portion of what you don't know, because we cannot live in this innocent kind of thing. Okay, I don't know, it will happen. These things don't happen automatically. You have to put sincere effort in learning, and it's never late to start learning. You can learn anything today. And in fact, in our generation, older generation, they say to protect your brain and cells, memories, and your cognitive behavior, you must learn something. Learn a telephone number, repeat something to yourself, write something, read it again. You must keep your talent, your skill, your creativity, your motivation, your enthusiasm to learn something. And this is what I do, because I've been doing debates and lectures and trainings and all. So what I do is I pick up a topic, I research it, I find some books, I read, I develop these lectures. I give it in Jivan Jyoti, another organization, in Arya Samaj and Hindu Samaj, and Gujarati Center, and Sindhi Temple, and wherever I find, I do that, and that gives me a passion or something to do, and I enjoy it. Really enjoy it. I'm learning always, learning something new, or I learned something in my master's and MBA or whatever in college, but that's kind of become stale. I don't remember all the time. But as I prepare, gives me something to do, and I feel that my memory is sharper. I'm helping myself when I do this. I'm helping others when I do or share my thoughts with anybody. And I urge you to learn something new, to start a hobby, start a passion, be creative, find a skill, something that is interesting to you, that keeps your motivation and your inspiration, your enthusiasm alive. And that is very empowering. We have all the power, all the tools, all the resources we need to do what we need to do. So I would just, again, finish this topic, but do review, reflect, think, and act. I call it RRTA because I remember all these things with these acronyms and little shortcuts and punctuations and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's too much to remember. So I would say the last words, remember RRTA, reflect, review, think, and act. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Poonamji. And thank you, Captain, also for making this event possible. I'm sure all of you learned a lot. I personally got enlightened with many of the things which Poonamji mentioned. Of course, we have been learning all this in our mindful meditation class also. So Actually, it is like revalidating what we have learned or what we have been learning all the time while doing our mindful meditation. Talking about the Western philosophy about thoughts or bubbles, there is a belief now, I always quote in quantum physics, that whatever we have or whatever we think, it is reflected in the quantum world and it happens. So whatever reality we want to achieve, if we keep thinking about it, affirming about it, it really happens. So it is not a superstition or a belief in our Hindu philosophy. It is actually, there is a science behind it. And also, Poonamji, you mentioned about happiness. I would like to say that happiness also should be a contentment, just not a plain happiness. One should be contented about it, that whatever you have, you are happy with it. And I like that part about transactional analysis. It was very detail oriented. Of course, we would like to learn more about it. That I'm okay, you're okay. The various stages which a man goes through from childhood to adulthood. Like when the child starts, he says, I'm not okay, but you are okay. And how it gradually evaluates to I'm okay, you are okay. So when you are like totally matured, totally enlightened, you say everyone is okay. I mean, I don't want to go into all those details, but it was very enlightening talk. We would love to have you more about it. I would also like to thank the participants for taking your time and attending this. I'm sure this is going to enrich you further and you will be able to implement in your life going forward. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you, Prakashji. Thank you so much. I just want to share with the participants here that MindRetreat group has been conducting classes online for over 4 years, Monday to Friday, 6:30 India time, 6:30 a.m. India time. And many of our participants like Shaman, Loretta, Kriti, Unnati, Jayashri, Prakash, Ujjwal, they are all here today and they've been highly enlightened. And as Prakash ji said, you have added value to what we have been talking all these years. And it's indeed a pleasure to listen to you, Poonamji. And if any one of you wants to join our WhatsApp group, Mind Retreat, please do message me. I will send you an invite. This group is basically an interactive group, and we discuss mindfulness and how do we transform the transformation takes place. And we also discuss about the techniques, finer techniques, how to accomplish what you want, including what Poonam ji said today, finding purpose in life, PIL. And this is most crucial thing we have been discussing and revising it time and again in this group. So thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Poonam
much.
ji. Thank you,
Thank
Prakash ji, for bringing
you.
us,
You're welcome.
introducing us to us.